Hey guys, I'm going to show you a project I'm doing. I'm going to do a couple videos on this. I started working on it a couple hours ago and I wasn't going to video it, and then I'm like, you know what, let's do a video on it. So we're going to do a couple videos on this car. Now this car is nothing special. This is a Plymouth Scamp, okay? It's basically a Dodge Dart, same thing. As you can see, it has some awesome 80s flames. The hood scoop is I don't even know if I can reuse this or not, but we're gonna try. We're gonna see if we can panel bond adhesive this to the hood. We'll rip it off, grind down all this rust, clean up the rust, and see if we can't re-put this down. What I'm doing with this car is I'm doing a budget paint job for $800 or less, and that's gonna include every bit of materials to paint this car, body work it, filler prime it, tape it, do any sort of wet sanding and buffing, which will be minor to that. It's going to get painted plum crazy purple with a black hood, a satin black hood, and we're going to do a bumblebee stripe on the back here. Satin bumblebee stripe. This car is not getting stripped down to bare metal. There was some pitting from rust. I ground all that out of there and I put a little bit of Bondo glass. This is not a show paint job or anything like this. What I'm doing with this car is just making it a nice daily driver car, something that looks decent, doesn't need to be perfect. I'm actually not even stripping it to bare metal. I am basically sanding the car down and putting a light skim coat of Bondo all down this car because there's not a lot of material on this car. As you can see here where I hit metal, there's really not a lot of build at all. So if you look down the side of the car here, I don't know if you're gonna be able to pick it up on the lights. I actually have it in the spray booth right now. I'm actually doing the body work on this outside because it's so messy. But I don't know if you can get a good look at it. Probably looks pretty good in the camera, but right here, you can see there's dents, literally ripples down this whole entire car, really bad. And I know it's not gonna be this black cherry color anymore. It's gonna actually be purple, which will be less visible. But I'm just gonna do one coat of Bondo down the whole car. 2K filler prime it, block it down, and then 2K filler prime it one more time, block it down, and then put it into paint. Now, I'm doing all my body work with air sanders only. I am not going to be using block sanders for the body work. And then we'll do our block sanding with our filler primer. But you could probably see in this quarter panel here, see that above the wheel well? You can see all those dents and ripples. I'm not gonna sit here and try to stud gun all that stuff out. That's not what this car is about. This car is about just having a nice, clean looking driver. Interiors, it needs a new dash pad, needs cleaned up. I mean, we're not going for show or anything like that. The roof's ripply too, so I'm gonna probably just do a light coat up there. What I'm using is a mud buster, which is an 8-inch DA sander, and it's actually working really well to flatten this out. I gotta give it credit. It feels really good. So I'm definitely, I think it's gonna turn out pretty nice for doing a $800 or less paint job and materials. Obviously you have your time involved in doing it, but at least if you guys are somewhat handy and do stuff like this, you'll be able to do it on a budget. The paint and clear coat, I'm gonna buy it for the first time ever. I've never tried it before. I'm ordering it from eBay. They sell a kit, a gallon of plum crazy purple and a gallon of clear with reducer and hardener for the clear for $370 plus tax. So it's about $400 for the paint and stuff. And then we're gonna use a gallon of Summit 2K filler primer with hardener is about $100. I'll probably end up using about 1.5 gallons of Bondo. All the blue area is what I had left over. The green area is the new stuff that I bought. So we'll be probably $100 in body filler and then paper and tape, which is fairly cheap. So I'm thinking we can do it for $800 or less in material cost. Once I finish this project in about a week or so, I'm gonna try to knock this out in a week to 2 weeks tops. I'm still waiting on parts for the Impala. After I get this out of here, I'm gonna start working on that 1-ton dually that I've had for a while that I've been working on here and there. I'm gonna pull the bed outside and start sanding that down. I can't really do body work in my front shop here because right now I have arcade games in here and I still have this Impala sitting in here. So I don't physically have the room up here to do the body work. So while it's nice outside, and it's summertime, I could just do the bodywork outside, keep all my dust outside, not even have to worry about hooking up my vacuum system or anything like that. So I'm kind of piled with a bunch of stuff in here right now. But this is the mud buster I'm using. I have two different ones. This one works a little nicer. This is an 8-inch, I got Bondo on it. This is an 8-inch DA. It's orbital and it's oscillating at the same time. And it uses a screen, 80 grit screen, and it literally just takes it right down. And then this is my normal DA sander, which I'm sanding the car down with first with 180 grit, and then doing my Bondo. This is just a 6-inch inline sander where I'm getting all my, spots that I can't get with the big round one. And we're gonna see how straight we can get this by just using minor tools and not a lot of sweat equity, let's put it that way. The Bondo glass is what I use to fill in over my pits. And this is the Bondo I bought. Evercoat Body Shop, first time ever using it. I bought it at O'Reilly Auto Parts. So I figured I've been wanting to do a video like this for a while and just show people what you can do without having to spend $2,000 on materials. Obviously if you don't have the skill to do this by yourself, you'd have to take it somewhere, and paint jobs are expensive nowadays. You're looking anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 to get your car painted. And it didn't used to be like that, but it is now, unfortunately. And a good gallon of Bondo is $100 to $150 a gallon now. So I'm just trying to show how you can do something on a budget, something cheap, and get yourself some nice results for next to nothing. So if you guys stay tuned, there'll be more videos to come of this. And I could show you in the back messy shop here. One of these days I need to get these cars out of here so I can get this cleaned up. I wanted to do it this summer, but that Impala is really putting me behind schedule. But this 1-ton dually, the whole cab is done and ready. The bed I have not started the body work on. So once I get this car out of here, I'm gonna pull this bed outside. It's on a rolling cart, and we're gonna knock out all the body work on that bed, get it in primer, and get it ready for paint. This is going pearl white. I think we're using a GM pearl white. That's what it was before. I built this truck probably 20 years ago, and it was in an accident, and it's just going back to what it was originally. So, all right, guys, I figured I'd just make a quick video and let you guys know that there's going to be a budget paint job coming along here. And hopefully you guys will watch it and have any questions or comments. Feel free to ask me or send any comments you have. Some people are probably going to think this is stupid, I'm an idiot, but for the average person, this is going to look awesome. And I really think it's going to turn out really nice. There's no point. This paint is stuck well. It's peeling in a couple spots, and it's only the clear coat. So it's stuck really well, and there's barely any paint on it. Let me see real quick before I end this. You can see like right here how thin it is. I mean, that's just a little bit of primer. It looks like a 1K primer. So it'd be really a waste of time on this type of a car that's not worth a lot of money to spend all that labor into it. All right, guys, you guys have a good night. I will see you tomorrow afternoon. We are going to 180 grit this quarter panel down and that door. I'm going to coat the whole door and quarter panel with a coat of Bondo, just like I did this side. We'll sand it down with the mud buster. We'll use those other sanders for the areas that I can't use the mud buster on, and then we'll just get this thing knocked out as fast as possible. All right, guys, have a good night. See you tomorrow.